in this section, I'm going to talk about absolute age dating and the geologic timescale. So basically, how do we get dates onto the geologic timescale? So dates are not easily assigned to the geologic timescale. There's several reasons for this. Subdivisions are based on fossils and sedimentary rocks. There's no C in subdivisions. And these are not easily dated, as I talked about in the previous lecture. So what they have to do is date igneous and metamorphic rocks of the same relative age as fossils. Well, there's problems with this. So drawbacks: conveniently placed datable units. It's hard to find conveniently placed datable units. And because of this, the geologic time scale is under constant revision. So I'm basically going to go over kind of how they do this using the Carboniferous Devonian boundary. So I'm going to pause it and sketch it out. And so you should pause it and sketch it out. Okay, so I drew out two separate sections. So they're labeled Layer 1, Layer 2, Layer 3, Lava 2, Lava 1, Layer 3, Layer 4, Lava C. These pictures represent fossils, like this is a foram, this one's a trilobite, this is a brachiopod. So based on the presence of this fossil being in both these layers, that's how they determined these layers correlate or match up, so they're the same age based on the fossils. This fossil also tells us that we're going from the Devonian to the Carboniferous periods, because that fossil is correlated amongst those two. But to date that, they would have to know the ages of the lava flows. So you're going to use the fossils to correlate, and then the ages of the lava flows to figure it out. So assigned to period based on fossils. So like I said, this fossil tells us this is in the Devonian, this fossil tells us we're in the Carboniferous, so that's the boundary between the Devonian excuse me, and the Carboniferous periods. Then the actual age of lava 2, layer 2, is bracketed by the absolute ages of lava flows A and B. So doing radiometric dating, we know, this should be labeled A and B. By doing absolute age dating, they know lava A is 400 million years old. MYRS stands for millions of years. Lava B is 360 million years. So, and we'll put lava C 355 million years. So they know the ages of the lava flows because they've radiometrically dated them. So based on that, I know that layer 2 was deposited somewhere after 400 million years and before 360 million years. So layer 2 is between 400 and 360 million years old. I also know that layer 1 is older than 400 million years because it's below it. I'm using the principle of superposition that layer 1 is older than the lava flow, otherwise it would not have been deposited there. So I know that layer 1 is older than 400 million years. How much older? We don't know. We can't say anything more about it. We can't bracket it because it doesn't have another lava flow. Layer 3 is less than 360 million years because it's above the 360 million years, so it has to be less than 360 million years. So since we can correlate layer 3 in section 1 to section 2, we can gain more information. So this layer is the same as this layer because we're using the fossils. So I correlate them together, and now I can use the information from section 2 to infer information about layers 3 and 4. So layers 3 and 4 were deposited before 355 million years and after 360 million years. Because this is 360, so this layer 3, I can correlate that so I know this is the same layer. So this occurred after this, so this is younger than 360 million years, but it's older than 355 million years old. So now we have a bracket of 5 million years for the boundary between the Devonian and the Carboniferous. Carboniferous. Million-year time. Which 5 million years sounds like a lot to the average person, but when you're talking about 350 million years ago, 5 million years really isn't that much time that's passed. So that's how we can use not only the absolute age dating to combine ages of fossils, but we can also use correlation to figure out the ages of layers and boundaries and put dates onto the geologic time scale.